All right. All right, that's the second time we use that video. We're getting fancy. Every time we do this Friday live streaming, we get a little bit more. We get, I like that the word Kaizen. I don't know if it's a true word. Maybe it's like just like a slang word, but Kaizen means constant and never-ending improvement.
Yes.
So, Michael Wong, welcome to the show. I'm gonna read your intro. I didn't memorize it. I got the piece of paper right here. Here we go. Our guest today, it's the same one from the radio. Our guest today was born and raised here in Hawaii, has 3 children, 5 grandchildren. He enjoys anything in the ocean, golfing, supporting UH sports. He graduated with a BS in education, has been a teacher, coach, and athletic director for 20 years, and a media sales consultant since 1994. He is currently program development coordinator for Laulima Giving Program with the Keiki, Āina Family Learning Centers. Please welcome our guest today, Michael Wong. Welcome, Michael.
Woo-hoo. Aloha, aloha, everybody. Attilio, thank you so much for the opportunity to join you, Producer Supreme.
Yeah. So here we are, and we have you on the radio show, and then we said, because of the pandemic, we started doing a lot of live streaming, and so we created this program on Fridays, and it's kind of like, I say the radio show is like the main entree, and then this Friday live streaming is kind of like the stuff you do with the entree the next morning, and then you throw them in the fried rice. So
well said.
Friday live fried rice, right?
There you go. There you go. That sounds ono.
Going over what we had, what we talked about on our radio show that we last had you on. Michael, local style, mainland style, boom, we go straight into the business. Local style, we like to get to know you a little bit. Tell us a little bit of an intro there, but tell us your story a little bit and how you got involved with this program.
Since I was a little boy, I was blessed with mentors. I had good coaches. I had people like Walter Wong, who's my uncle, used to coach at St. Louis basketball. He used to have dominant basketball teams in the early 70s. And as I would watch him, and as he would drive these guys who were City League champs, they were ILH champs. They just were very, very talented. But he wanted to make men out of wanted to make men out of them, not just athletic monsters. He wanted to make men. And so as I watched that, I thought coaching can be developing into creating better people for the community. And that's what I found here at Keiki Āina Family Learning Centers. Their whole passion is to develop the Keiki because they're our next generation. And as we set up our next generation for success, everybody wins.
Yeah, and now you're very articulate with that, your why, your mission statement there. I can tell why I think they did a good job of putting you in this position to help with this part of their program. So Keiki Āina, and that's the big mothership that you fall under?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
And then you're the offshoot, right? So the offshoot, the program here. Let's talk about your guys' program, Laulima Giving Program. I'll do a little share here so people can take a look at the website. What is this program about?
Basically, Laulima, in the Hawaiian terminology and background interpretation, is that many hands make a heavy job lighter. You notice when the Hawaiians would build lo'is, and they would build stone walls. It wasn't just one guy carrying a stone, walking 50 feet and putting it down. It was a family. It was a culture. It was a community that one person would pick it up, pass it to the next person, pass it to the next person. And everyone had a role in building that stone wall. And that's the beauty of it as a people work together, as we work together to help people who are struggling here in Hawaii, people who are living regular lives. They're kind of living in the gap. They make too much to get government assistance. But all of a sudden, because of disease, illness, an act of nature, loss of job, employment because of COVID, all of a sudden their life took a dip and went south. So what we try to do is we step in and we help them get back up to where they used to be in the hopes that when they are able, they will pay it forward. That's our desire.
Awesome. And how long has this program been around?
Oh, wow. Well, Keiki Āina started in 1976, and Laulima Giving Program started in 2006. Both are brainchilds of Momi Akana, our executive director.
You know, I when I was listening to you, how you was talking about, you know, using the building the lo'i or the fish ponds, and everybody comes together as a community. You know, if you look back in our ancient Hawaiian history, a lot of times there's something to be learned from the history that we need to bring forward into modern times.
Agree.
And take from our old Hawaiian non-Western culture and bring it into our modern day Western culture.
Yes, yes.
One of them, and I was a good Kamehameha school student. I took Hawaiian culture, Hawaiian history, was that, you know, we were a very communal society back then, right? We lived in the ahupuaha, from the mountains to the ocean. And I always say we were the original reduce, reuse, recycle.
Yes.
Before that, those Western terms came about. And sustainability wasn't something that Hawaiians were striving for. It was a necessity, and it was their reality, right?
Yes, yes.
And I noticed what you just said. Would it be safe to say, and I think I would wonder if anybody would challenge me on this, but what you guys have developed today is what ancient Hawaiians had from the dawn of civilization on these islands. If somebody needed help, the village came together and helped. You know, modern examples of that is like hanai, right? You ever had cousins that was hanai?
Yes, yes.
It wasn't some formal program of adoption. It was just, oh, you know what? Mom and dad's working all the time, so they're going to hang out with auntie who's not related by blood, but they go there every day after school, so they're not in the streets.
Yes.
And become hanai to that family, because
that's exactly right. That's exactly right. I'm sorry. There was no paperwork signed, right? It would just say, come.
And I remember I took some training, and this trainer was like, he was talking about all the different cultures, and Polynesian, Hawaiian cultures. Come inside. You like something to eat?
Yes.
That's how I was it. So you guys, you've taken that concept that Hawaiians have had for thousands of years, and you formalized it, put it into the, you know, formalized working adoption here of a nonprofit organization. There are families out there or businesses that would like to help. What are the steps? What does that look like in helping and adopting one of these families?
That's a great question. As you know, Laulima, or at least it used to be known as Lokahi, and we changed names recently, but it's the same program, just a change in the title. But basically, what we do is we help people all year long. Some people used to think that it was just a Christmas thing, and I think there was a time that it did start that way, where we wanted to make sure that the Keiki would have a brand new toy, at least one, every Christmas, so they could wake up, and if their parents couldn't afford it, we would have an opportunity to ask for very generous sponsors in our community, not only local businesses, but also people who said, you know what, I used to be there. And so today, for them to pay it forward, they would participate in the program. But as you know, people have difficult times throughout the year. So now we've expanded the program so that each month of the year, as we hear of different people who applications are sent to us by caseworkers statewide, we reach out to the people on that island. Could they help? This is what the people need. This is their story. And if you think that the story is a good fit for you or your business, would you consider the list of things that they ask for? And we don't deliver iPhones or iPads or anything like that. We want things that they really have needs for, the things that are really necessary for them to survive until they get to the point that they can be up and running again. And it's been a wonderful program. Last year during COVID was our best year ever. Other nonprofits were thinking, oh no, we're looking at a 50% drop. And we noticed that it actually went up. When people are suffering during a tough time, the people of Hawaii rise up. They rose up in such a way that was amazing to us. With our media partners, not only people like you and Adrian, KHON, and the team there, they help us reach, put vignettes on their website so that people can view these websites, so they can see the heart of the program as we reach out to help other people. It's been fantastic, just fantastic.
So are you saying that a business can do something as simple as adding this domain name to their website to help you guys?
Well said, my friend. Yes, this is a great opportunity for them to add this as an option as people go to their website to say, would you consider, like we are, business name inserted here, like we are, would you consider participating in the Laulima Giving Program? Yes, yes, and yes.
You know, and I'm gonna, you know, Michael, I don't know if you know, but you've been in radio. Are you still in radio or just this is your thing right now?
This is my thing right now. Yes.
All in. This is your Kuleana. So the most popular radio station, I don't know if you've heard of the call letters for the most popular radio station. It's WIFM, and it stands for What's in It for Me. It's I'm being facetious. There's no such sound. Maybe there is. I don't know, but it's an analogy is what it is. It's not a real radio station. So people don't be like, oh, where's that station? I heard they got this station. What WIFM? What's in it for me? I want to listen to that. I want to know what's in it for me. So the point I'm going with this is that, you know, business people are busy, you know, hence the word business, busy in there. And a lot of times they're rushing through the tornado of running a business, and we don't take time to give back to our community. We want to, as business people, we have intentions of wanting to. But here's what I found. Give people a mutually beneficial reason. Win-win. Help the families, help the business. And I know, Michael, you're saying, well, how can these businesses help themselves by helping these families? Well, that's a great question, Michael. I'm glad you asked that.
That's a great question.
Here's how. Michael, I forgot if we talked about it when you're on the radio show, but you know about the Tom shoes, the brand Tom?
Yes, yes.
What is their thing, these Tom shoes? What are they known for?
Their thing is that if you purchase one, they will donate one.
Yes. Buy a pair of shoes, and shoes will be donated to a child in need in a third world country. Not just like buy one and then give them to Joey down the street because he needs shoes. And it's weird too, because these shoes, they look like the same kind of shoes like prisoners wear, but then movie stars wear them too, and they're super comfortable. And so, you know, the good news is, whatever my opinion is on the type of these shoes are, is they're helping kids in third world countries who don't have shoes.
Yes.
So the CEO of that, I read his book. I forgot his name, but it's called the For Benefit Marketing. And so you business owners, come closer to the live feed. Okay, listen up. When the consumer perceives your business no different than your competitor, 95% of the time, if they go on your website or do some research about you and find out that you're giving back to the community and your competitor is not, 95% of the time, they will actually choose to do business with you or pick up the phone to give you an opportunity to win their business. But 95% of the time. So you business owners out there, I don't know any more compelling reason to help us help you. That's from Jerry Maguire. Help me help you. The movie Jerry Maguire. Put this domain name on your website. Yeah, you're probably not going to even do them yourself, because you're going to pay some 15-year-old or some millennial or whoever's in charge of that tech stuff. Put it on your website. This is a great way for us to support a nonprofit that's been around how long already? Keiki Āina?
We're celebrating our 25th year this year.
25th year. Okay. I noticed on the website, I'll go back to the website, one of the basic things, just to kind of make it simple for people to start with, is a $50 gift card per person in the family. Where would the gift card? What organizations would the gift cards come from? Like,
great question. Gift cards could come in the form of Target, Costco, Foodland, Safeway, Times, gas cards, any type that people could use that they could benefit, buy things for their family. Yes. You know,
Michael, I have a suggestion for our viewers that are going to watch this, and some may watch this later on too, because not everybody watches it live. For you business owners out there, here's my suggestion. Did you know there's a universal gift card, and it can be used anywhere with no fees or no hassles? Would you like to see that universal gift card, the $50 one? Okay,
Writing it down.
You ready? Here we go. Money. Just give them this gift card. This gift card per family member. I'm sure you guys take cash donations, but they're gonna write you on checks so they can write them off. You can donate $50. This kind of gift card for one for each family member. They can use it anywhere. I find that when I worked with nonprofits that were helping, different the people in those situations, instead of trying to figure out to get them what they need, just give them the money or the cash, or I'm sure you guys provide some way to provide them a way to go get what they need in that situation. We talked about it before. Oh, you wanted to say something? Go ahead.
Well, exactly. I think that's really important to state right now. We steward the money that is donated very, very at a high level. In other words, if somebody says, I like some money, we tell them, what do you need? And they're like, well, I like money. What do you need? And so what we do, we found that if we go and we purchase, in other words, if we go on and get Target cards or Walmart, two companies that have been very, very, very generous with us. They not only, and I'll tell you a story later on about my school and Target and their relationship. That's a really good story. But these two companies have stepped up. In fact, we are going to be collecting school supplies in July 10 and 17. What we're doing is we're collecting these supplies because, one, if the students don't have the right supplies in their educational career, they will not succeed. Number two, the teachers, many times if the students don't have the supplies, guess who buys them for them? The teachers. And so in 2019, the last time we got to actively collect in front of the Walmart stores in Kapolei, Pro City, and Keaumoku Street, we delivered 114 big moving boxes. You know, the kind you have to use your legs to carry.
Like you got a back brace, and you got you need you and one two.
You need the brothers to come live with you. We delivered them to 19 public schools, and they were so grateful because all of a sudden they got all the paper, they got extra pens, they got folders, they got erasers, they got glue sticks, they got scissors, they got staplers, they got backpacks, and most important, I'll tell you, I know you'll know this one, they got slippers too.
They got slippers. Slippers is important. It's the foundation of education, because then if not, they'd be walking around barefoot and they can't come to school. Like in the old days, when me and you was going to school, we probably could go to school with no shoes, but
Yep. The first time we had to wear shoes was junior high.
Mm-hmm. So and these kids nowadays, they get them easy. They got air conditioning. We never had I never had any air conditioning. Open the window, close the window. That was air conditioning. I've worked with organizations, and people got to understand, I don't want to tug on people's heartstrings to be able to help out, is that remember when you were a little child, the last thing you want a child or your child to go through is that embarrassment of not having the proper school supplies, or having to come out from behind that embarrassment to ask the teacher for stuff. And the teachers, I swear, our teachers here in our community have the biggest hearts, because we are in the most challenging education system in the nation, and they don't get paid a lot. And I have good friends that are teachers, and a big chunk of their personal income, not little kind, not small kind, is going towards buying these kids supplies and just footing the bill. So that's awesome. So Laulima, so hearing this, run it down again. If maybe there's another elementary school that wants to adopt this in some other part of Oahu, so give us the steps again on how they did that.
The elementary school, my school did this. A third grade teacher wanted the students to learn how it's more blessed to give than to receive. And so instead of just quoting biblical passages or just putting it on their wall, they said, we are going to help the Laulima Giving Program. And so hands shot up. How do we do that? I'm just a third grader. What they did is they would negotiate things to do, things that the family needed to do, chores. And they would say, Mom and Dad, if I do this and this and this, will you pay me this much money? Now, I'm from the old school. You do chores because you're part of the family, no ask for money. But it was an interesting dynamic because they were learning finances. They were learning, for this job, I could get this much. And with the agreement and understanding that the mom and dad would give them that money, they took that money, took it to school, and then the school teacher took them for a field trip to Target. Because Target many times says, if you buy one, you get one. And there were so many deals that they had. So what they did is they went and they bought these gifts for children their age. These children, they would never, most likely never ever see, never ever meet. But they did that, and then they would have an assembly at the school, and they would bring all the toys that they bought, personal items and things like that, shampoos, soap, whatever they enjoyed, and they brought it all to the school. And the school principal, wonderful man. My school is really an up and coming school. They would have an assembly, and all the children would sit down outside. And I have to say this about them: the most respectful and controlled environment I've ever seen in an elementary school. They would sit quietly. They would give respect to the people who were dancing or singing or speaking. And as I watched it as a teacher myself, I thought, this is amazing. Someone has taught these young people how to be respectful, how to be polite, and not be rude. Fantastic display of education at its finest. And so what the KHON team did is they took a camera crew out with them, and they followed them around as they were shopping. And then they interviewed them. So what are you doing here? And if you go to their website, they have it on www.khon2.com/Laulima, khon2.com/Laulima. They've got some of the segments that Kathy Maneno has helped put together, and you can see that story about Ma'i School. Fantastic young people learning at a very young age not to say mine, get away, this is mine, but to open their hearts to people and other people they may or may not meet, and teach them how to donate, how to give, how to share, thus enriching not only their education and experience, but their personal lives as well.
Yeah, in fact, I looked it up real quick, but look at the headline: Laulima Giving Project breaks all-time record. That's a nice. This is 6 months ago. So that's a really good school. And what I know is that everything flows from leadership within organizations. So they got probably a great principal, vice principals,
yes,
that third grade teacher, and kids. What's more impactful for kids is not what you tell them, but what you show them. So that's a great story. So I can see the circular connections between Laulima Giving Program, because not only are you raising funds and support to support these families, but you're not only giving, but you're teaching how to give.
Yes.
And I think it's going to be more valuable. It's just as valuable helping these families, but what's going to have a bigger multiplier effect is our little ones, our Keiki in our community, learning how to give. So that maybe they'll have a business, and one day they're going to call up Uncle Wong and say, "Oh, guess what? I have a check for 10 grand because when my family wasn't doing too well, your program helped it." I've heard stories like that, and I am speaking it. You guys will have a story like that.
Well, and you're right. You're right. You are a forward thinker. Well, that's one of the things that last picture you showed that was taking it at one of our sponsors, Align Mortgage. Yeah. And it was so cool because the guy runs out. He goes, "Hey, can I take a picture?" We always say, "Yeah." He goes, "Let me get my drone. Let me fire up my drone." So he throws the drone up in the air. And this is how that picture was taken, from a drone. Nice. There's so much energy and excitement from people, because all of these people there at the business had an opportunity to help, led by Tony Diaz, whose heart was to say, "Yeah, here's a check." It was a huge check. It made me speechless. That's hard for me.
People. Yeah, yes. I know Tony Diaz. He's good people. Shout out to Tony Diaz. He's
Tony Diaz,
big giver in our community. Really nice guy. Really,
and and other people as well. I went out to meet Bill, the owner of Aloha Auto Group. Wonderful man. He was one of my clients when I was doing ad sales at KHON. So I went out and was meeting Bill upstairs in his conference room. And as we were talking, his secretary walked in, and she said, "Are you talking about the Laulima Giving Program at Āina?" And Bill turned to her and said, "Well, yeah, we are." And she started to cry. She started to cry because her children, were in that program, and she saw the benefits firsthand. And so at that point, Bill became a sponsor of ours as well, and is very, very generous in his giving to us as far as how we help other people as well. The touches throughout the community, Artilio, are growing. We're not the largest nonprofit in the island, but as a Christian native Hawaiian nonprofit organization, we've been blessed, just blessed time and time again.
Well, we've covered so much, and I know there's a lot more to cover, but the main thing is that we want people to go to the website, click on that donate button, adopt families, get involved with the program. More importantly, Adrian and I with Team Lale, we're going to get Team Lale involved, and this is going to be something that we're going to commit to on a long-term basis. We are still getting together with you on that.
Yes.
And for business owners, I'm going to, again, speaking business owner to business owner, it's the right thing to do, and it makes good business sense. How's that for win-win? It's the right thing to do, and it makes good business sense, because when we give back to our communities, consumers say, I want to do business with that business. I want that product or service because they give back to our community, as opposed to the next one, which doesn't. I'm sure it's just as good enough a business, but if it's a tipping point, oh, you know what? I'm gonna go with these guys. They participate in the Laulima Giving Program.
Yes.
Any last things that you want to share with our viewers? I call it La La Land out there in the streaming world. Out there in La La Land, what you want to share with them?
Can I share one more story about the home build? Those of you who remember Extreme Makeover Home Edition was done in a house up in Kalihi. Laulima Keiki Āina had purchased that land, and there was a kimchi factory on the property. It was an old house and older buildings for their offices, and that's where Keiki Āina was. Well, when they won the Extreme Home Makeover Home Edition, they leveled, this is in 1 week, they leveled both buildings. They built a plantation-style home for the Akana family, and then built a 2-story office buildings for Keiki Āina. So this is in 1 week. And then while they got done with pretty much wrapping up on both, they said, hey, I have an idea. The construction people said, let's build a cement platform here, and we can do an outdoor type of teaching, put a tent over it in between the house and the office building. So they dig, they hit water, and they think, oh no, we must have broken a water main. Well, they rechecked the plans. There was no water main there. What they had hit was a natural lo'i. Now, the beauty of that, and because of Momi's passion to teach children and ohana here sustainability, how to grow your own, how to take care of the land, how to do these kind of things, how to do it together, how is it that there's a natural lo'i, not underneath the house, not underneath the offices, but right in the middle? We've had lots of schools come over and teach the children what a lo'i is all about, what sustainability is all about, how kalo is so important in the Hawaiian culture as far as the strength of family. Family who never leaves each other alone, always makes sure it reconnects with each other in a way that is positive and powerful. And we just got a new land, a parcel in Waimanalo.
Oh, wow.
Why? To teach more sustainability.
Nice.
We purchased a farm that had a house on it, the owner's house. He wanted to spend more time with his family on the mainland. So he wanted to find a native Hawaiian, a nonprofit that he could sell this to. And so now we are owners in a beautiful place in Waimanalo. Beautiful. Again, teaching people how to grow, how to sustain. Because if the docks ever shut down and there's nothing coming into the islands, we have to teach people. You have to take care of the water. You got to take care of the ocean. Got to watch your plastic use. You got to make sure you clean up and make the place nicer than you were before. You have to learn how to work the earth just like the native Hawaiians did as well.
Well, you know, I go visit my friend Rustin. He get on 55-gallon drum of pinto beans, and that's good for at least 6 months. The wife was like, "What will I do with all these pinto beans?" Anyway, the humor aside, you're right. We call it food security. You know, and that even as a realtor and I help people buy and sell homes, I don't want every square inch of this island plowed over with development. We do need to save some of it for growing food, and that is an important thing for public topic for another show. So thank you, Michael, for being on the show. Again, Michael Wong, Development Coordinator for the Laulima Giving Project. If you want to just, no need to do the research anymore. We've created such a compelling story. People should be putting that link on their website, going to that link and adopting a family. We're going to adopt a family. We're calling out all our Keller Williams realtors in general, business owners all over Hawaii. Come and give back. Let's reach back into our history as Hawaiians and people who live in Hawaii, to our old native cultural roots of taking care of one of each other, and especially coming out of a pandemic. That would be a good thing, huh?
Yes, and Atilio, we'd like to invite you and Adrian to come and visit our place in Kalihi.
We will.
I think there's a lot to be said when you put your feet on that ground, because you'll start to realize how special this place is. Not only Āina, but this whole state, this world. We got to take care of it.
Yeah, and I'll bring my slippers so I can take them off and go and put my toes.
Your slippers. Yes. We got hose to wash you off too.
Yeah. Okay, so we're coming to the end of our Friday live. Stay with me, Michael, because we keep doing things like where I gotta find them. Where is it? Here we go. We're gonna, that awesome video we had. We're gonna take ourselves out with that same video. So stay with us. All right.